Hello everyone, my name's Erica. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for liking and subscribing. This is kind of like transformational testimony channel. It talks about my personal experiences and how I've overcome adversity and pain and loss. It's very personal to me, and I've found it very difficult to come to this point of actually sharing my story. The reason for me actually sharing is because I want to help others get from a place of despair and pain and sadness and loss and adversity to a point of not just living but thriving. You know, we all have our struggles, ups and downs, and life happens in waves, like waveforms. We have peaks, we have valleys, we have ups, we have downs. We all move with the vibrational frequency of the universe and our planet and the planets that surround us. And those planets and that universe, this universe, makes up who we are, from birth to how we transform and change and become the people that we're meant to be, the people that are meant to serve and help others, because ultimately that's why we're all here. To get to this point has been very difficult for me. Stories I share are very personal, very close to my heart, and they're a part of who I am. And I don't share them lightly. But I share them because I want you or anyone to learn from them. And maybe take a little nugget of truth and wisdom and incorporate it into your own life so that you can find hope and avenues to which help you discover your own inherent tools that can help you transcend social constructs, religious walls and barriers, and personal walls and limitations and barriers in order to thrive and become the best human being you can, that can then turn around and serve others in the same way. You know, I'm with faults like everyone else, and I don't hide that. I'm just me, perfectly flawed individual, hoping that somewhere in this story you can see yourself and find a way to transform and transcend your own personal limitations and discover the tools that you have and develop them. We are all here for that same purpose. The distractions of our time are many, and we're coming to a time now where there are more and more people willing to share their story, share their truth, and be vessels of light and love and healing energy for those around them. This is my goal. I have a lot of stories. Many people have others that are harder than mine, and take nothing away from that. And I don't compare myself to others. I just simply am here to state that I'm just simply stating that, I'm nothing special. I'm just willing to speak out. And I thought about making a script and, talking on that script. But I think an outline and speaking from the heart is probably best. So, to start out, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. And we'll go from there. So my name is Erica. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my world. I have a husband whom I've been married to for 20 years. I have best friends that I've been best friends with since I was 11 years old. I'm an only child of a single mother with no father, whom I've never met. I've gone through a lot of loss and transformation in my life. I've suffered through, my mother's addiction and helped her wrangle her demons, which ultimately took her in the end. And I've been friends with those who have struggled with the same, and I too have struggled with the same. I've battled addiction and depression, other mental illness. I have been victim to our lovely pharmaceutical companies, and honestly, I still struggle a little here and there, but I'm learning to cope without them. Coping mechanisms are important. Understanding your personal limitations and knowing what tools you have to overcome those is important in cultivating those tools. And really, the biggest thing that I started with was finding avenues to calm my mind and center myself and discover who I am truly within, and looking not outside myself for peace and happiness and joy, but within, and learning gratitude for the little things that I do have, gratitude for the lessons and the adversity and the trials and tribulations, learning to be grateful for those so that they're become lessons, and they become little nuggets of wisdom and self-reflection, so that I can thus expand and grow more into the person that I'm meant to be. And also gratitude for the things that I do not have yet, because with that, we're able to utilize positive vibrations, frequency, which I'll discuss later, to ask the universe for the things that we do want that we do not yet have. So by doing that and being grateful every day, it sets the tone. And it allows you to begin to cultivate a better outlook, so that you can focus on the things that do matter and the positive change, and you can focus on growth, and you can focus on learning instead of focusing on the negative and taking away from all of that. I have my mother of 2 beautiful teenagers, 16 and 17. I have 3 dogs, and I have a wonderful family, aunts and uncle. I have cousins who are like siblings. I have friends who are like siblings. And I now have a wonderful job that affords me the freedom and flexibility to do this. And this is why I have that job. The universe has gifted me with the opportunity to be able to do this work so that I may share it outside of myself. It's selfish to keep it all for me. It just is. So, I wear a lot of masks, would you say? They're all different facets of who I am. But at the core, I am just another part of you. I'm another part of our Creator, a facet that's learning to rediscover who it is and what it is, and to experience pain and pleasure and love and joy and sadness and sorrow and all of the things that make life worth living, because without contrast, you cannot know one without the other. Just like you cannot have light without dark, and you cannot have dark without light. Contrast allows us to see beyond our own limitations and open our eyes to where opportunities for growth are. That's about it for now. Over the course of these videos, I'm going to connect with you in different places, in different ways. I may not always use my face. I may do videos with music. I have a lot of hobbies, creative hobbies that I enjoy, and I'd like to somehow incorporate those. I haven't really quite figured out how I want this channel to go, but sometimes you just got to start somewhere, right? Everyone's got to start somewhere. So this is my starting point. Just open-hearted honesty, and without judgment and fear. And I'm putting myself in the stream of the collective so that I can be of service to more people. So I hope somewhere along the lines you find something that resonates with you. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. I'm more than happy to connect with anybody and offer any wisdom. I'm not a therapist or a psychiatrist. I'm not an expert anything. I am a Jackie of all trades, I suppose. So I have a little bit of knowledge about a lot of things, which affords me to see kind of a bigger picture. And I don't presume to be an expert. And for serious issues, I do recommend seeing experts if you can. But ultimately, our best healers are ourselves, and that's what I'm here to do, is to teach you how to harness those tools that can help you become that healer. Because only you know you as well as you do. And sometimes we need help, somebody who can see from the outside in, to help us, put things into perspective. So I'm not discounting any of those things. Sometimes we do need medication to help keep us safe and help get us to a point of where we can cope, and there's nothing wrong with that. There are mental illnesses, but what I've come to discover is a lot of mental illnesses are spiritual awakenings that we have yet to understand and find a place for and fit into our lives as it were. So they become, they're like uncomplimentary frequencies that are being distorted by the lives that we live in the day, in the world that we currently live in, and our societal structures and belief systems, and personal limitation and beliefs, and those, all of those things, you know, kind of cross over the frequencies of spiritual enlightenment and spiritual growth, and sometimes they can distort the message, and it becomes disorienting and frightening sometimes, and we don't always understand it, and that's okay. We're all fragile creatures, but beautiful, each and every one of us, and we're all seeking the truth. We're all seeking our own truth, and no one truth is like another. We're all different. No one's better than anyone else. We each have our roles and places in the universal flow of things, and we all have a role to play, and each one of us is special and best suited for that place and that role. So be grateful for who you are and the things that you've gone through. Be grateful for your struggles, because just like, you know, it's like a canvas. It's perfect and white, but it's not special. It's not pretty. It's like every other canvas. But we're like a canvas that has paint on it. Some would see some paint on it like an imperfection, but others would see it as a work of art. So see your canvas as a work of art. See yourself as a beautiful work of art in progress, slowly every day becoming more and more what it is meant to be. And that's inspiration for everyone else around. Don't be afraid to color outside the lines. Don't be afraid to use every color in the palette. You are unique, and only you can follow the path that you're on. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. And don't fear change. That fear, that change, you know, it is that discomfort that you feel. It's a sign that you're growing. They don't call them growing pains for no reason. You know, the way a flower blooms, its petals are all scrunched up and they're in this cute little like bulb, and then eventually parts shed away. And you would imagine if you're losing parts of yourself and things are like splitting out and spreading and changing and growing, that's probably a little painful for that flower. But that flower becomes a beautiful flower. The bulb becomes a beautiful flower in the end. And it did that through change and through growth. And we all follow the same cycle of birth and death, and many things in our lives follow that same cycle. And through those deaths and rebirths, we change. We become multifaceted. We become the beautiful creatures that we're meant to be. And the adversity that you've been through, the trials, the challenges, they were all specially there for you, for the universe to awaken you and help you to see the areas that you needed to grow and change and expand to become the better version of you. There's of course more details and more stuff, and we don't always look our best or feel our best, and we aren't always ready for the task at hand, Generally, when we're called to do something, we're like, why me? Why do I get to do that? Why am I special? But you aren't always prepared. Nobody's picture perfect all the time. Nobody is always dressed for the occasion, or their makeup's not always done, or, hair's not always done. They may not always be in the best place, but it's right for you. And it's right for those that are going to hear or see you. So don't be afraid to shine and use your light for good. Personally, I've gone through a lot of stuff, and I have been in positions where I haven't made the best choices, and I've made mistakes, and I've disappointed myself and those around me. And through those times, I've learned how to do things better, and I've learned in what ways I've expanded enough and other ways that I need to expand more. And it's a process that we all go through, and it's not special to me. It's a universal thing. And I just hope that, like I said, I can maybe help a few learn how to take themselves on the journey and embrace it with childlike joy and wonder and gratitude, and how to be loving and compassionate to others, and especially to themselves, because we're coming into a point of transformation and spiritual awakening. Planets are aligning in our solar system to awaken this part of us all, and we're all starting to see how love is the answer, and how kindness is the answer, and that change is good, and transformation is good, and we do not need to all be stuck in little boxes with pretty little labels. That we can transcend those boxes and labels, and we can all be part of each other. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful time, but also a very scary time to be alive, because we're coming out of a dark period where we all thought we had to be in those boxes. So breaking out of that can be scary. You can feel like you may be doing something wrong because others around you may not understand. You can feel afraid and alone. But just know that you're not the only one out there like that. That we're all being awoken to this universal vibration calling us to rise above. And it's beautiful. Over the course of my videos, I'm going to be talking about concepts and theories that I've learned, and a lot of this you may have already heard. God, my hair is quite... It's funny, but whatever. Moving on. Some of these concepts you probably already heard. Some of them are going to be new to you, and I encourage you to do your own research. I encourage you to be your own teacher. Think of this as an outline with examples and an avenue for which you can teach yourself, and ultimately is the best way to learn, by reaching within and learning through your own wisdom, and then of course utilizing your resources to learn that which you don't already inherently know. So if this resonates with you, it's wonderful. I'm so happy. And please comment below if you have anything to share. I am always willing to connect with others and be here to help. I am grateful for this opportunity. I am grateful for this role. I'm grateful to all of you for listening and caring to connect. I'm grateful for all the likes and the shares and the subscribes. And I look forward to a long, fruitful, and beautifully transformational journey with you all. With love and light, I say goodbye.